Are you ready to hit that panic button for retirement? Well, stop. We got the remedy for you. Welcome to the show, folks. Show's called Your Money, Your Wealth. Joe Anderson here, certified financial planner, president of Peer Financial Advisors. And of course, I'm with the big man. He's sitting right over there.
Good morning again.
You got that panic button, Big Al?
I've got it. I'm going to push it, and then we're going to figure out how to solve it.
Man, a lot of people are panicking about retirement. Look at these stats, folks. All right, 64% are more worried about retirement than they are getting a divorce. How about death? Over half, 61%, are more worried about their retirement than dying. Or how about getting fired or poor health? Retirement's at the top of the list where people are panicking, but we got a plan for you. That's today's Financial Focus. All right, what are the causes of the anxiety? Well, this is just to name a few. No income plan. They don't have a strategy to create the income that will last their lifetime. Oh, number B, outliving their money. Number C, not enough saved, right? You see the recurring themes here. In healthcare cost, I don't have enough money, I don't have a strategy. Do I save enough or have I saved enough? In healthcare is gonna eat away my savings anyway. There's remedies for all of this. Don't panic. Let's bring in Big Al.
So we are panicking. We're panicking about our income. We don't seem to have enough income, or we're spending too much, and as a result, we're not saving enough. We're panicking about these things, and then we think about healthcare. As we get older, we tend to spend a little bit more for healthcare, so we're concerned about that. But as Joe just said, there are remedies, and we're going to prepare and plan and talk about what those remedies are. So there's no reason for people to panic.
No, let's talk about what people are panicking and then what the plan is. Al, I got panic, you got plan.
Okay.
Panic. All right, hit that panic button. We don't have a clear income plan.
Let's first figure out what sources of income we have, right? So we got sources of income in retirement. Of course, we got Social Security. Maybe we have a pension plan. We have our own savings, right? We got 401k, we got 403b, things of that sort that we can create income from. Maybe we have an annuity. Maybe we have real estate. Maybe we've got bond or CD ladders that come due at different times. We got to look at our income sources, and Joe, I think that's step number one.
Yeah, it's just take inventory of what you have, and then figuring out, A, how much money do you want to derive from the overall portfolio, and then come up with a strategy. Do you have a 401k plan? Do you have pension, Social Security? How is all of this going to come together as a formalized plan that you'll have discipline to make sure that you get that income? Number two, panic. We're fearing of outliving our savings. That's a huge fear. We're living a lot longer, Big Al. And it's like, do I have enough saved to make sure, right, I run out of money before I run out of breath?
I think this is one of the biggest ones, Joe. So here's your remedy, right? Let's do a little stress test. Test run. What does that mean? So basically that means figure out what your income sources are in retirement. Your 401k and then the like, maybe you take 4% out of that plus your income sources, and then try to live on that for a while if you're working, right? See how it goes. Or if you're already retired, have that amount come into your checking account from savings, Social Security, whatever, each and every month. See if you can get by on that, and that's a great way to figure out how this is going to work.
Yeah, that's a really good point. So a trial run, hypothetically, you have $100,000 saved. 4% of the $100,000 is $4,000, and let's say you have a combined salary or combined Social Security of 40 grand. Can you live off of $44,000 plus a little bit of cost of living for the rest of your life? If you can't, you're probably not ready, right? If you can, all right, now you can hit go for your overall retirement. Another panic, people have high credit card debt or even debt in general going into overall retirement. Most people like to mitigate that, but sometimes it's unavoidable.
What you want to do is come up with a plan for paying this debt off. Now, if it's credit card debt, then maybe you figure out how to pay it. Maybe you pay your highest cards first. Maybe you pay your lowest balance first to get started. Joe, it could be car debt. It could be student loans for kids. Right? All kinds of things.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big deal. 71% of retirees have an average balance of $20,000 in debt that is not even related to their mortgage payment. So this is credit cards, that's your...
Yeah, and we know, Joe, credit card debt can be very high interest rates.
All right, if you're panicking, what you got to do is you got to go to yourmoneyyourwealth.com, click on our special offer this week. It's our financial blueprint. If you don't have a blueprint for your overall retirement, this is your opportunity. It's free of charge. You can download it right there, answer some questions, and you can see where you stand. Are you panicking about retirement? This will ease that stress level substantially. yourmoneyyourwealth.com, click on that special offer. It's our gift to you. When we get back, if you're a little bit short on savings, that's what we're going to break things down. Savings, savings, and more savings. Don't go anywhere. Don't panic, folks. We're back. Show's called Your Money, Your Wealth. Joe Anderson and Big Al breaking things down. A lot of you are panicking about retirement. Go to yourmoneyyourwealth.com, click on that special offer this week. It's our financial blueprint. If you haven't done the financial blueprint, I encourage you to do so. It'll take you 5 minutes, answer some questions. It will tell you, are you on track, not on track? You might need to do a little bit of work here. At least you know. Once you know, you can put that in action. yourmoneyyourwealth.com, click on that special offer. It's our financial blueprint. All right, let's see how you did on that true-false question.
Over 60% of Americans ages 50 plus are worried they won't have enough money for retirement. True or false? Well, that turns out to be true.
So 60% of Americans are worried that they've saved enough. I would say it's probably almost 95%. Some people might be a little bit overconfident here, but let's break things down, Al. If I'm looking at retirement need versus savings, so this was done by Northwestern Mutual. And so they surveyed individuals, 30 through 39-year-olds. They think they need $1.77 million to retire. What do they have? On average, $60K. But they're 30 to 39. They got a long way to go. How about 40-year-olds? They believe they need $1.3 million. What do they have? $92,000. A lot of work here. 50 to 60, they need that 1.7. They got 116. So here's what perception is, and here's reality. So there's a huge gap in regards to the retirement crisis we're living in.
Well, there is, and we see this all the time. And I get you're in your 20s or 30s, and you've got a long way to go. Even 40s, but you're in your 50s or even late 50s or even 60s. A lot of people are so far behind the 8 ball.
Well, they're panicking. We haven't saved enough. This should encourage you to say, all right, well, where should I start? Where should I be thinking about? There's a lot of different avenues where people can save, and it's even getting better year by year.
Well, it is, and especially right now, Joe, because when you're over 50, you have a catch-up plan, right? Meaning you can add more to your 401k. 401k, 2025, you can put in $23,500, but Joe, if you're over 50, you can put in even more.
Yeah, $7,500 catch-up on top of the standard defined contribution. So if you have a 401k, 403b, here's your catch-up. Once you hit 60, that's 60 to 63, we call it the super catch-up, $11,250, and then $7,500 back to 64 and 70. These are your standard defined contributions. Now, of course, your employer could be matching as well, but then there's after-tax contributions that a lot of you could take advantage of, where you could put even more than these dollars in. That would be an after-tax contribution. So look at your plan doc to see how much that you can actually put in the plan, because some of you would be shocked that you could take advantage of really cool things.
Well, and it's really important because I think a lot of people, their 20s and 30s, they buy their first home, they start having kids, right? Their 40s, maybe college, and then by 50s, it's like, wow, I'm pretty far behind. That's why we have the catch-up. Please take advantage of it.
All right, panic, unsure. When to take Social Security? Is it going to even be there? Should I claim it at 62? Should I claim it at 70 or somewhere in between? How does it all work? Is it going to be taxed, not taxed? Very confusing.
So you got to have a plan, Joe, and the plan is consider what's going to work best for you. Consider your life expectancy. Are you married? Consider the fact that the highest benefit between you and your spouse will continue when the first one of you passes away. And consider about both your life expectancies, and do you need the cash right now? If you can wait, Joe, you get a much bigger benefit later.
Yeah, and I think it's really dependent on what your game plan is. I think a lot of advisors say, well, push this thing out as much as you can, because if you take it at 62, in this hypothetical example, just assume your benefit is $1,000 a month, just to make the math easy. So if you take it at 62, your benefit is $700, a 30% haircut. Or if you take it at 70, it's $1,200. But if I take it here, well, that's $700 a month that I don't necessarily have to take from my portfolio. If I wait until 67, well, I have to draw that portfolio down a little bit until I reach my full retirement age or age 70. Some people think of a break-even point. This is all strategy in regards to your overall plan. Like Al said, are you married? Are you single? What are the benefits of you and your spouse? A lot of different combinations that you want to make sure that you take advantage of.
Yeah, Joe, I think it's interesting when you look at you can first take it at 62, right? In this example, $700 and age 70, $1,240. That's almost an 80% increase to wait till age 70. So it's a big deal.
All right, healthcare. There's a panic, right? This is a big fear for a lot of people. Will I have enough to cover my medical expenses?
And you got to have a plan because healthcare is very important. Now, at 65, you do qualify for Medicare, but Medicare doesn't cover everything. You might want to have a Medigap or supplemental policy to help cover additional amounts. You may want to have a long-term care policy to cover that skilled nursing care that you might need. Maybe you got a HSA, health savings account. If you do, you have that ability, make sure you fund that as much as you can.
Hey, if you need some more help with this, break it down with our financial blueprint. You can do it right there in the comfort of your own home, answer some questions, and then a report will pop out and it will tell you, all right, red, yellow, green, are you on track, not on track, some work to do? At least you know, then you can put some pressure on it and get to your goals. YourMoneyYourWealth.com, click on that special offer. It's our financial blueprint. All right, we got to take a break, but when we get back, we're going to talk about withdrawal strategies. I think most people, hey, I know how to save a couple of bucks, but how do I take it out? How do I create the income that I need? How do I reduce my overall tax bill? How do I make sure that I don't outlive my money? That's what we're going to talk about when we get back. The show's called Your Money, Your Wealth. Hey, welcome back. A lot of you are panicked about retirement. Hopefully, we are calming those nerves. If you need more help, go to YourMoneyYourWealth.com. Click on that special offer this week. It's our financial blueprint. Super easy to do. It will give you really good information, a starting point on what things that you should be thinking about in your overall financial life. Cover multiple different areas, so take advantage of it free of charge. You can download it. It's a report right there in the comfort of your own home. YourMoneyYourWealth.com. Click on that special offer. It's our financial blueprint. Let's see how you did on that true-false question, folks.
Almost 50% of retirees don't use a formal withdrawal strategy, just taking out what they need as they go. True or false? Well, that is true. It's not only how much you can take out, but should it come out of your retirement account or your Roth account or your non-retirement account? Where should we be taking this money? And taxes play such a big part.
Yeah, huge part. So when you think about your overall situation, this is a really good chart to think about. You got tax-free dollars, right? This is your Roth IRAs. How many of you have Roth IRAs? So you kind of put your dollar figure in here. Most of you probably have a lot of your wealth or liquid wealth in your tax-deferred. Tax deferred is like a pre-tax dollar going in, gross tax deferred, but when it comes out of this account, just know that you have to pay tax at ordinary income rates. So how much that you pull out is going to determine the rate that you pay in tax, but this is the highest rate. Taxable investments, so this is anything outside of a retirement account. This could be a stock, bond, mutual fund, real estate. So this is a capital asset. So if you sell these assets at a gain, of course you have to pay tax, but it's at a lower rate than ordinary income, but higher, of course, than tax-free. So the point is that most people have all of their dollars here or most of their dollars here. They could have a pension. They could have Social Security. They might have purchased an annuity or something like that. Most income that we see from strategies of all of you are taxed at the highest rates. You don't necessarily have any diversification from a tax perspective. If you have dollars here, ideally it would be great if your total liquid net worth was there, because every dollar that you pull out, you never pay tax ever again. Ideal. But if it's here, it's ordinary income. But if I have a little bit in each of these different accounts, or a lot in all of these accounts, you can have diversity. You could pull from these accounts to control your tax brackets on an ongoing basis. If I can control my taxes, that's going to spread those dollars out longer than everything taxed at the highest rates.
Yeah, something else we got to consider is sequence of returns risk, because the market, we know it goes up, it goes down. What if we retire, or if we are retired and the market goes down? We need to have some safe money. We don't want to pull money out of the market, out of the stock accounts that we have while the market's down. We want to have some safe money to guard against those periods of time where the market's falling. So maybe you have a couple years in very safe accounts, like a savings account, CD, something like that. Some people maybe want to be a little bit more conservative. Maybe they have 5 years or even more in bonds so that they can pull money out of there when the market's down.
70% of us do not have like this stage or phase retirement with our employers. Usually it's you retire, okay, here's your last check, here's your PTO, thank you very much. But some employers will let you kind of phase in, get used to that overall retirement, cut your hours and retire when you're ready. 33% of employers, so that means what, about 70% do not.
True, but a third do.
All right, how about this? Imagine your ideal retirement, Al. Are you imagining it right now?
I can think about it right here as I'm sitting.
All right. You got to imagine your ideal retirement. This is really important. Take stock of your health. Number 2, just get your finances in order. Use our financial blueprint. Use a napkin. I don't care. Just start putting together what you have and where you need to go. Get your estate planning documents in order, and then build that support group. Because what we find is that people that transition into retirement, right, most of your social circle was through your employer, the people that you worked with. Now you're retired, you just want to make sure that you have that support group and that you have that social circle that you can still lean on.
Also, you got to recognize the signs you're ready to retire. Financially prepared, maybe that's number 1. When you're able to retire, maybe you should really think about it. Maybe your work isn't that fulfilling anymore, so maybe that's a sign you need to retire. Or you got new dreams, you want to volunteer, you want to spend more time with the grandkids, you want to travel more.
So let's check the boxes, Al. Are you financially prepared? I think, yeah, we'll check that one. Work isn't fulfilling. Oh, that's a double check for you, Big Al. You got new dreams on the horizon? Absolutely.
I do.
Okay, but health, no, your health is perfect.
I'm good. I'm good there.
All right, let's switch gears, folks. We got a couple questions that came in. Let's answer them.
I know creating a retirement plan will ease my anxiety, but where do I start? This is from Jill in San Diego. Well, a great place to start is look at your income sources like Social Security, pension, maybe you got some real estate income. Compare that to your expenses, right? Now, usually you have a shortfall. You have more expenses than income, and that's okay. That's why you save money, right? Take that shortfall, multiply it by 25, and then compare that to how much you have saved. Do you have enough? Do you need to have a little bit more saved? That's a good starting point.
Anyone get all that? Here's a better way, right? No, it's a layup, Al. Just go to yourmoneyorwealth.com. Click on our financial blueprint. That's a really good way to start. It's absolutely free of charge. Yourmoneyorwealth.com. Click on that financial blueprint. You can do it in the comfort of your own home. It's a few questions. It will tell you are you on track, not on track, and some action steps to take. All right, so hopefully we ease that panic button today. For Big Al Clopine, I'm Joe Anderson. We will see you next time, folks.